anywhere from 5 to 15 people showing up. No, no cost to it. Just show up, buy your own drinks or meal or something like that, and a time of good fellowship and a little Q&A kind of stuff. Kind of like a goodwill gesture as as I travel. I've done that. My gosh, I've done that in Europe. I did it in San Diego, Charlotte, Chicago. Where else? Philly, um, Harrisburg, Washington, D.C., Baltimore. Did I do one in New York? No, I didn't do one in New York. No, because I can't stand New York. So, let me put on my glasses and see who's here. Beautiful day. Blue sky, big puffy clouds. It's nice. It's nice. All right, let's see. There's a black blob on my camera lens. All right, let me see. Hopefully it's gone now. We'll see. Hotel Casino, Columbus, Ohio, drove 3 hours. Yeah. Any advice for men who struggle with adult entertainment? Are you talking like on video, phone, or in person? Like going to strip clubs or watching porn? Like that kind of stuff. Guess there's two different pieces of advice for those things, you know? Yeah. Will I review your new song? You can send it to me. Rest in peace, Dolly Parton. Why did Hector cross the road? Because he finally made it over the wall. Okay, that's a joke that I don't get. Maybe it's just going over my head. Rest in peace, Jim Curry. Jessica is with us. Hi, Jessica. I haven't talked to you in a while. Men must learn to like living alone. 100%. If you can't be happy on your own, trust me, inviting a woman into your life will just make you lonelier. Seriously. Unless you're in what's going on. Zach Chauffeur. Yeah, we're in that cycle where weak men are creating weak times, hard times. That's so true. I used to run a cigar pipe smoking channel. I did many years ago. Yeah. Ender, what's going on, brother? Rob Simmons, good to see you. Neil Aiken, Naked Coffee, what's going on? Bob Donahue. Greetings from Germany. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Steve-O in Ohio. Frank Pesci, what's going on, my brother? Ready to save the hood. Nah, I'm done trying to save the world. Done. Done. Joanne McKee, what's going on? Lots of thumbs up. Evening George from Scotland, having a Glen Morangi 12 dedicated to you. Thank you. You know, I October 1st will be 2 years that I haven't had alcohol. Haven't touched a glass of wine, have not had any bourbon or whiskey, which was my alcohol of choice. Bearded Dan, what's going on? Masonic Trucker Nick, how you doing, man? Good to see you. J-Ron Allen, good to see you. Bryant, what's going on? Yeah. South Texas is going on for weeks and 100 plus. Yeah, you know, it's funny. Texas is hot. Utah has been in the low 100s, for the past month. I know that. I got some friends in Utah, and they've been dying. There will be no saving the world, only save yourself. Today, the nicotine pouch is by On. It's a 2 milligram mint. Gonna have to work 2 jobs for first time in my life. Yeah, man. Blake did 2 hours of kayaking. Oh, that's awesome. Best 2 hours sitting in a therapist. Yeah, better than sitting in a therapist's office. You're not kidding. David Luce says, I'm thankful retired, don't have to go out into the heat. Yeah, it's hot out there. Jessica doing the 2 milligram. Sounds like you're a fan of the nicotine pouches. I love them. I love what it does for me. I really do. What are the ways I can bulk and gain a lot of weight while maintaining my lean shape? Lift as heavy as you can, eat a lot of protein. But if you're skinny, just eat. Just eat. 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 Is it because I'm getting older, or are relationships actually getting more difficult to attain? Yeah, man. 9 milligram, two pouches on the gums. Oh my God. If I had 9 milligrams, it's crazy. Yeah, Jessica, I order online. I never buy it in the store. I go online and love it. Absolutely love it. To me, that's the only way to do it. That's the only way to do it. Are relationships more difficult today? Yeah, they are. Let's face it. They are. I think everybody has relationship or divorce. I would say half the people you encounter, like I'm going to be going to this restaurant in a couple minutes. Statistically speaking, half the people that I cross their paths on the sidewalk will either have, statistically speaking, will have relationship or divorce PTSD. They're not trusting. They're cynical, hurt, lost, tapped out. And I see that everywhere. Everywhere. Yep. Chicken will bind you without the fat. Pork will make you go. Yeah, that's true. David says, I got a new bicycle to ride. Went down to a 24. And the 7R was too hard to mount. Yeah. It's interesting because I was looking at adventure bikes. I was looking at I don't know, maybe 6 weeks ago, looking at a Suzuki V-Strom. Beautiful bike, full fairing, big tank, comfortable saddle, big top box, 2 big hard saddlebags. And it was nice. It was nice riding, very, very smooth, quiet, fast, super fast, like scary fast. But it sat up really super high. I do not like mounting a huge high motorcycle anymore. I don't like doing that. So what I've done is I've searched for bikes that have a lower seat. I like flat footing. If I got the V-Strom, you come to a stop sign or a red light, I'd be on my toes. And I'm not a short guy, but I'm not a super tall guy. But I'm very average, very normal height, weight, blah blah blah. And still I was on my toes at a stop sign. I like to have my feet flat on the street when I come to a stop. I do not like leaning over on like my tippy toes or anything like that. I got to have a solid footing. And I don't know if that's an age thing or whatever, Yeah. Jessica says, divorced twice now. I never had it so good. Free yourself and face the fear. Truth. You don't have to run to the altar. you could have a committed relationship, and if you want to have a little civil ceremony or some kind of like a dedication ceremony. Oh, by the way, medium skin fade, scissor cut the top, skin up to about the temple area. Got this haircut last, today Wednesday, last Friday. So you can have a long-term, lifelong companion, but you don't have to go and get your marriage license. You don't. I don't want to say that that's obsolete, but it just is not. I don't know. It just turns me off. Turns me off. You know how people say you don't need a piece of paper to get married. You don't need a ring to get married. That kind of thing. I think when I end up with somebody permanent, my thoughts are that we both wear a wedding band. That's what I think. Now, I've been open to marriage, and of course, I define marriage differently than the traditional way of defining marriage. I define it as like a lifelong companion where you don't bail every time things get hard. You kind of you build with each other, that kind of thing. And after many years of being a single divorced guy, I guess it was in 2019 that I decided, yeah, I want to do this again, but do it differently. And I'll tell you what, man, when I was a player, it was much easier. You know, I have found women don't want anything anymore. That's my experience, and I get around. I'm not sitting in my home watching Netflix and playing video games. I get out. I have a social life, and I'm finding that women don't want that. So since 2019, I'm open to a long-term partner. I even hate the word partner. Long-term companion. Like, I don't know, whatever the word will be. And I've never been this open in the past over 20 years. Not meeting anyone. Not meeting anyone. So what do? Right? You just kind of, you carry on. You carry on. And if you happen to encounter somebody, cool. They got to be in the same position as you. Otherwise, um, you know, uh, and it's a good thing that I'm pretty happy being alone. I mean, I do table for one every week. I work out by myself. I read books by myself. I watch a Netflix series by myself. I talk to people at work, whatever. Talk to people with the coaching. And so there's kind of like my socialization. But I don't, like, I'm done dating. Dating is such a waste. For me, it is. I'm not putting anyone down. For me, just it's not. It's dating is not fun for me. I don't look at it as fun. It feels like a friggin' job interview. And most women are meeting 3 different men a week and all that. I'm not into competing with anybody. I'm not. I am the best version of myself, but I'm not in a competition with anyone. With anyone. So you lay your cards on the table and see what happens. If not, I'm totally happy. Doing table for one does not. It never disappoints. Never. Like tonight, again, finishing the book, Dark Psychology. Really, really looking forward to this talk or this book, and then talking about it when I'm done. Very excited about this. Sit quietly, have a meal, read a chapter in the book, and I'm good. And I am good. I like all the seasons. I just have to adjust. Like I like the weather from all the seasons. Although, you know how they say there's no such thing as being, there's no such thing. Where the hell is the kiosk? Oh, there it is. Okay. The parking kiosk. We have a park. What do they used to call them meter maids. Now they call it parking enforcement officers, right? A woman that goes around with this electronic thing and handing out tickets. So before I leave, I got to pay for parking. And this is a nice, well-lit parking lot. And, if you're within 20 miles of Philly, you always, you just have to be hyper vigilant. You got to be hyper vigilant. I live 4 miles outside of Philly. And where I am now, I'm exactly 5 miles from where I live. So I'm 9 miles outside of Philly. But the whole Philly thing, if you're in the 5 or 6 county area, it still feels like Philly. It's you got to travel. You got to travel an hour to an hour and a half outside the city to not get this Philly vibe. I am so over it. I am so over it. But and you don't need. Yeah, Jessica, you're right. Keep it fresh. You don't need to live under the same roof. You can do day trips together. You can go on vacation together. You can maintain separate homes. Spend weekends with each other. That kind of thing. Yeah. Scotland is in the house. Lebanon, PA is in the house. I put my glasses down because there was a woman walking in front of me across the parking lot with a dress on. You don't see women with dresses on anymore, you know? So whenever you see me go like this, caught my eye. Caught my eye. Mike says, I'm still single, George. Missy left me when I used to have a big beard, but she liked me clean shaven. Yeah. Sky says, it's not about trying to get the most physically attractive woman you can get. It's about getting the right woman who won't break your heart and will ride or die with you. I 1000% agree with that. Do we want our women to be attractive and hot? To us. Like what I consider attractive, you might not consider attractive. The whole concept of a universal beauty, does it exist? I have a personal preference because the women that I've dated, people have said to me, it doesn't seem, people have said to me, I never pictured you with a woman like that. Whatever. Listen, I dated models and actresses and all that stuff, broadcasters, like women that were beautiful by Western and American standards, and complete disappointments. And for you men that are out there that are still open to meeting a woman or having a coffee date, she only has to be attractive to you. You're the only, your opinion is the only opinion that matters. So your artwork brings positive attention from women. That's cool. George Going is, I have totally gone my own way. How do I feel about men into semen retention? Whatever your thing is, if you feel it works for you. I used to put it down. I don't know. How do you feel about urine retention or poop retention? I think if you have an organ in your body, it needs to be used. All right. You can't just say, I don't think I'm going to pee for the next week. No. All right. Our organs, the organs of our body are meant to be used. That's what I think. So, sounds weird. And it can, if you're a wacko, it can lead to all kinds of immorality. But if you got your shit together, it's not that difficult. Smoke cigar or shave your head. Do it. Why not? Endra says, I haven't seen anyone in 19 years. No huge loss. You might be missing out on some nice fellowship with a female. John Boston, what's up, brother? Haven't talked to you in a while. I got to give you a call. If you're open to that, let's chat sometime. I got to figure out when I'm free, and we'll just talk a little bit. Same thing with Jessica. I haven't talked to you in a while, so we'll have to chat. Philly is deep blue politically and culturally. Yeah. Philadelphia is disgusting. Philadelphia is it's amazing because it's the cradle of liberty. It's the birthplace of our nation, but yet there's so many people in Philly, so many blue people in Philly that don't appreciate this country. And I say, well, go live somewhere else. Come back and you'll see how much you love this country, Will I shave my head on camera again? I'm not sure if I'm going to shave my head. Maybe when I'm like 75. I know when I turn 70, I might grow a bigger beard, like a big beard. And if I'm 75, and if I still, I still have some hair in my head. I don't have all the hair that I used to have. I don't have a head of hair like Blake. Blake's got that damn head of hair on him. He ain't got nothing to worry about. How do I feel about men? Okay, there's the semen retention question again. If you feel it's for you, then do it. I'm not going to judge it. Marriage is a contract that cannot be legally entered into or legally dissolved apart from state control. Yeah, I will never get married. Jessica says, my poor sons, one hoe after the next. Yeah. It's insane. It actually is insane. Any tips on getting around the summer to fall funk? Experts call it SAD, seasonal affective disorder. Yeah, I've seen that before. Yep. Growing a beard is the ultimate act of patience. I tell women all the time, you want a patient man? Find a man with a beard, like a nice full beard, because it took him time to grow that and to shape it. And my attitude is, if you're going to have a beard, let it be a perfect beard. If you're going to have a beard, have it look good. Once or twice a week, I hit the lines, like under the neck. I don't trim the cheeks at all. I just kind of let that grow. And I've been rocking kind of like this faded beard because I have the skin fade. So I go from like about here, about mid-ear up to mid-temple with skin. And I've been liking that look. And I think as the hair in my head gets less and less, which, I think I still have a good amount of hair for my age. I don't come from a genetic line of great heads of hair. And I thought I was going to be completely bald by 40, but I got a little bit left. But I noticed that when I skin the sides, it just makes the top look fuller. Hence my opinion that all haircuts are optical illusions. It takes your eye off of one thing and puts it on another. So if I had full hair and full beard, the top looks thin and totally receded. When I skin the sides, the top looks like kind of normal. So like I said, all haircuts are an optical illusion. Same thing with beards. When you sculpt your beard, you don't snap on a 2-guard and mow it down. You sculpt your beard, freehand it. Okay? If you have any spots that are, there we go, another girl in a skirt. It makes you feel alive when you notice women, right? Isn't that funny? Um, I think when you have a beard, if you have like any patchy spots, you let the hair above it, the whiskers above it grow longer. Uh, I know that I have a, like a bald patch underneath my bottom lip. Skin. So I grow the soul patch out long enough and you don't even notice that it's skin underneath. Optical illusion, you know. Uh, Here, bald spots, but I grow this a little bit longer to fill it in. So it creates like a nice consistent look. But that comes from freehand trimming or sculpting, I should say. Love older women. You love older women. Yeah. Yeah. Good evening from Georgia. Are we talk? So if you're saying good evening, then it's not the state of Georgia, it's the country of Georgia. Am I correct? Poop and pee retention. Yeah, that's funny, right? Capable of jumping over 3 foot high. Yeah, I can still jump pretty high. I can still jump pretty high. I mean, I could still hurdle. You know, I'm still fast, pretty quick off the line. Although it, although this decade is a decade of slowing down a little bit, I should say. You know, Paul Belmonte, what's going on, brother? From Beleaguered, London. Have I tried adding buckwheat to my nutrition game? No, I haven't. I haven't, but I'll look into it. That sounds good. I've heard people talk about it. Yeah. Your 90-year-old German next door neighbor looks 70. Yeah, totally genetic. It's totally genetic. I don't care what anyone says. Yeah. Go to Florida to deal with seasonal affective disorder. Yeah. True. True. Jessica says starting red light therapy to help with depression that comes from winter. It works. Yeah. 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 Where I go, they have a red light booth kind of thing, and I go to it 2 to 3 times a week in the wintertime. I hit the red light booth 2 to 3 times a week, and it is a game changer. Yep. Paulie Jack Daniels, I'm a semi truck driver. My primary airline just blew up. Thankfully, I pulled over on the freeway. I'm just waiting for the tow truck to get me. Yeah, we have, it's interesting. We have a lot of truckers that come to this channel. A lot of truckers. I mean, you have a lot of time. You have 11 hours a day on the road, you know, to watch podcasts, listen to podcasts, that kind of thing. A lot of truckers watching this channel. Yep. Florida is out of the question due to work. Yeah. 40s, you look like you're in your 30s. That's cool. That's cool. Yeah. Blake says 5'2", 109 is just about right. Second wife was 112 at 5'7". Fantastic. We just need to care. We just need to care how you feel, not how we think we should be accepted. Yep, that's so true. That is so true. John Boston says, I went to my 40th high school reunion. I had women ask me if I dye my hair. No, you got some dark hair, brother. You got some dark hair. Seriously, you do. I mean, I turned white, completely white, I'd say about within a year or two after my divorce. I don't know if that was genetic or if it was just from the stress, but I've had a white beard and white hair for 20 years now. 20 years. Yeah. The morning show is an amazing thing on the ride to work. It is. I really like it. I like doing the morning show. I was talking with Dino Costa out of KHNC, Denver, Colorado. He wants me to do the morning show, the morning drive. Let me open this door here. It's getting hot in this truck. Oh, so much better. Anyways, he wants me to do the morning. He wants me to do the morning show. So we're in talks about that. I have to look at the contract and float that across my my attorney to see what that will look like. I don't have to move to Denver in order to do this. I can broadcast from wherever I want. And technology is such today where you don't have to live in a city to broadcast from that city. And it's called Renegade Radio, 1360 AM. The website is 1360khnc.com. Actually, Dino is on right now. He does the afternoon drive from 2 to 5. And he's a renegade. He is a renegade, man. No holds barred, man. That dude just lets it rip. I wasn't aware. Back when I used to do radio, there was a bunch of words you couldn't say. And I see, like when I listen to Dino online, he's using spicy language. And I'm like, I didn't even know you can do that anymore. I had no idea that you could still, curse or whatever. Although I'm trying to curse less. And, but he lets it rip, man. He lets it rip. But the morning show will be, it's not going to take the place of the Daybreak Show. It's going to be called the Daybreak Show, but it's not going to take the place of the Daybreak Show. Yeah. So we'll see how that goes. And I got to see what kind of money is involved. So we'll see. That's about it. All right, I'm hungry. I need to go eat. Thanks for hanging out with me. I appreciate it. And I'll catch you again soon. And I'm going to let you know when the Grand Rapids event is going to be. Go to mindcapturebootcamp.com if you want to attend this out there in Michigan. What a great chance to meet me in person, spend some time with me. We'll do a meetup, hang out with me, sit with me at the conference, and we'll do that. It'll be fun. That'll be fun if you want to do that, especially if you're in business of any type. This is going to be a killer conference called the Mind Capture Boot Camp. And he's been doing this now for 15 years. And it's a pretty popular boot camp, pretty popular conference. So, all right. Thanks for hanging out. I'll talk to you soon. Thanks.